And taking us into this conversation is Sarah Muni, who's a life coach. Welcome to the show. This is this is this is something that probably we get to do way later in life, after you're really grown, and that's when you're thinking, maybe I just need to discover myself. Well, in retrospect, we should be having this conversation way early.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. And it's part of self-awareness and knowing yourself.
Yes.
Yes, so, and it's very important because, and let me say this, the beginning of personal development, let me even start from that, starts from self-awareness. Who are you? Why do you think, do you know there's a reason as to why you think, feel and behave the way you do?
Yeah.
I mean, two people will look outside the window, you're looking at the same things. The one person will see trees. You ask them, okay, what's the first thing you see? They'll see trees.
Yeah.
You ask another person, what's the first thing you see? They'll see, oh, the sky.
Kuna jua kali nje.
Yes, you ask the other person, what do you see? I see buildings. You see different things. And it has to do with your temperaments and personalities. We can even start from there. It starts from your personalities, your personality, your personal traits, their temperaments,
Yes.
So there's a reason as to it's part of self-awareness, and we need to have this conversation.
Ali.
Yes, Ali. Actually,
because most even relationships, even in the family setup, they break down because I don't understand why you behave the way you do.
Yes.
And sometimes you'll have siblings and you'll be wondering, Niwa mama moja, because we are totally different, even if we come from the same mother.
And also, I think it's great. I think God also gives that balance so that we also learn to live with different people, appreciate each other, tolerate each other. We need to be tolerant,
Yes.
Yeah, so that's why you'll find, even in a family, you find like their siblings who are very different. One is very, very silent, very quiet. They do their things quietly. They don't like the noise. Others are, they're the noise makers everywhere. They are the, they're the life of the party anywhere.
Yeah.
So you find there's that differences. You'll find even amongst children.
Yes.
One just want to sit with the adults. The others, they just want to. They're out there. They're the ones who they're bullying others. I mean, it's temperaments and it's personalities, and you need to understand these children and not keep on scolding them or making noise to them, thinking maybe they're just making noise. It's their personalities, and you need to understand that and even develop them. Now, the reason why it's important to have this conversation early enough is because it even there are kind of careers that are attached to certain temperaments and personalities.
Okay. I think even before we get there, maybe the difference between traits and temperaments,
No, traits.
Yes, before we're confused as we go ahead.
Yes, so your personal traits are what creates the temperaments.
Okay.
And how you tell a temperament is by the traits you see in a person. Yes.
Great.
That's how you tell a temperament.
Okay.
Yeah. So personality type or temperament is basically a set of traits that occur in Mwekali together consistently.
Okay.
We can say she was like this even when she was in high school. She was that noisy and Barbie and all that.
Yeah.
Even now. So they occur together consistently in a person.
Okay.
Then we can be able to say, your temperament is this. You're a sanguine. Like, there are those four of them. There are the four of them.
Yeah.
Your temperament is this. You're a melancholic. You're a choleric. We can be able to tell. So they occur
So
together.
you're saying there are 4 temperaments. Maybe you can just list them.
Yes.
List them down for anyone who's hearing that for the first time today.
Yes.
They're wondering, huh?
There are temperaments, and there are 4 of them. So the first temperament is the sanguine. The sanguines, these are the lives of the party. They are the noise makers. Exactly. Exactly. And their main concern in life is basically attention and to get along with everyone, make everyone happy. They love the limelight. They love that,
Wow.
They love, yes, the showbiz, those are the careers that you find them in. That's their main concern in life, attention and, to be like, be friends with everybody. They love that. Then we have the cholerics. First of all, the sanguines and the cholerics, they're the extroverts. You know that word? Some people are familiar with them. Extroverts.
Yes.
Yeah, people who are very outgoing. They're out there. They're bold. They're courageous and all that. Then the cholerics, their main concern in life is achievement, success, money, bottom line. So in a meeting, these are the people who will be asking, okay, what's the objective here? Why are we here?
Yes.
When
still loud, but sort of like purposeful now.
Yes, very purposeful, very controlled, very logical. They are workaholics also. Yeah, so those are the type of people. They are looking for the numbers. What the bottom line? What are we achieving? They know what's supposed to be done anytime. They're leader-like.
Yes.
Natural leaders. These are the natural leaders anywhere. And then we come to the introverts. The stronger introvert is the melancholic. These are people who are quiet. They don't like the noise. They just love their quiet. Yeah. So for them, you'll find them. They'll even wait. Mtu anasimama kwa stage. Angojile gari haina kelele. at a
Pandey,
cup.
and
Yes.
this happens,
Yes.
subconsciously. It's
Yes.
not because you don't know. It's just something you like to do.
Yes, you're not even thinking about it. You're like, it's very natural. So their main concern is tradition. They like traditions.
Okay.
Yeah, so they like traditions. They like conservative. They're conservatives, That's their main concern, and also to just get along with everybody. They don't want to fight.
No.
Yeah? And then we have the weaker introvert, who is the phlegmatic. So the phlegmatics, these are the calm people. They're very peaceable people. If you have a problem with them, you're the one with a problem. It's not them, because for them, they run away from problems they don't want,
Yes.
And then, they're very kind people. So many people will take advantage of them. Utamuomba pesa leo, hujarudisha na kesho utamuomba tena. Because they're very kind, their concern in life is really to make other people happy and never have a problem with anybody. They focus on relationship. They're more relationship oriented. They are the most stable temperament.
Oh.
Very stable. These are people who can work in a company. You will find for the last 30 years.
What?
Amevumilia kila kitu. They've seen everything, but they are still there. They go there. If like a sanguine starts a business today, and a phlegmatic starts a business today,
Yes.
their phlegmatic is going to be intimidated by the sanguine, because they're very energetic and all that, and look like they're making it and all that. But they don't have the discipline to stay the course.
Yes.
Or follow through. But this other one, they stay the course.
Yes.
They start something, you will see it to the end. So they are very good at following, taking instructions, and they are the most faithful friends you can ever have.
Oh my goodness.
Yes, they are the
looking at my friends. I don't know if maybe I need to
Let me tell you the worst friends. Let me tell you the
Oh
worst
my God, are they the sanguines?
Yeah, of course. Because if you've been wondering, why, how come people know my stuff, my secrets, and all that? It's because you have sanguine friends who can't keep quiet. They want attention. They want to be the one bringing the news. Umesikia this and that. They want that.
Yes.
They want to control the conversations everywhere. So you need to rethink your friends and people you are sharing. The best friends you can have, you will never hear a secret out there. They are conservative. They'll keep it together and everything.
That's the phlegmatic. Yeah. You know what? I'm wondering if there's a chance that one can have two, of this because. But I'm going to throw it to you guys.
Yeah.
Do you know what temperament you are? We've been told about the melancholic. We have the sanguines, we have the phlegmatics, and we have the
cholerics.
The cholerics. So we have 4 of them. She's broken them down nicely. 111, 444, 111 for just a shilling. Tuambie unafikiri we ni mgani kwa nini among the 4. Yeah? And look at your life. We're coming back with Sarah Munyi, so don't go too far. This is Full Circle. A very good morning to you. Welcome back to Full Circle with Mwikali. We are talking about your temperament, your personal traits, and how that affects so many other things that happen in your life. Okay, we've listed 4 of them, and we've asked you to tell us which one you think you're at and why. Is it the first time you're hearing this conversation? Please do talk to us, 111 444 111. That's our SMS line. Come to us, good morning, Mwikali. You look good today. Have a blessed day. You too, dear. It's Flo from Thika. I want to ask, is it normal for a child to change from the good and quiet to loud and stubborn, and why? Looks like the questions are started streaming in about temperament. I don't know if you can quickly touch on this before we continue the conversation.
Yes. So it can happen if somebody is very quiet, even not just a quiet, not just a child.
Yeah.
If somebody is the quiet type and all of a sudden they are loud and all that, it could be because of something that has happened. Sometimes people go through stresses and depression. You find somebody behaving, or sometimes someone is loud and all that, but all of a sudden they're too quiet. They don't talk for a long time. Sometimes it could be something they are going through. It could
so
be
you
something
just need to find out what
so
that
it could be
is.
depression, it could be stress, it could be just anxiety, or just things that have happened in your life and you find yourself there. So I think it's good to first of all observe this child if they are okay. Who are their friends? Yeah, get to know, because people don't just change quickly like that.
Yes.
No. It doesn't just happen.
Great. So this 4 different types of temperaments, they have their strengths and weaknesses.
Yeah.
I already know I'm not a good friend. Like, it's not even, but I'm sure I am like sanguine and something that's nicer.
You can be a
Sanguines are bad
transformed.
people.
You can be a transformed temperament. So
So let's talk about the strengths and weaknesses of these different temperaments.
let's start with the sanguine, of course, because
Okay,
we are
cool.
here.
Yeah.
So for the sanguine, their strength, these are the most charismatic people. Yes, they are very outgoing. They make friends everywhere. They are very enthusiastic. You know, they are they're very good. They are very bubbly people, and they're the best people, even like in a company or a setup, to drive agenda. Yes, they drive agenda. They will bring in recommendations. That they're able to drive agenda. You know, and they make people. They are humorous people. They make people laugh. You know, anywhere they go, there's life. You know, it's bubbly, it's bubbly. You need such people around your life.
Amen.
And then also, even when it comes to dressing, how you can tell one red hair. I mean, the colors, nails.
You know what? It's fine.
Green, green nails. Because they don't, they're not shy people. You
No,
know,
they're
they
not.
don't hide from their attention.
Yeah.
For the, with blue hair and fine, I'm walking the streets, I'm okay. They're, you know, they're very outgoing. They're very shouting colors. You can tell them from far.
Yeah.
But then, you know, that's the good sign. And then the other side, you find they have, you know, they're very forgetful people. First of all,
Forgetful.
They are very
Say
forgetful
that
people.
louder.
Yes,
For the ones at the back. I think
This-
I'm the most forgetful human being ever.
let me tell you, this is somebody who will hurt you, say something even hurtful to you. The next moment they're coming, hey, Sosa. Because they forgot about it. You are
Not like that.
excuse
It's
me,
not
chick.
like-
You know, excuse me. You just told me this. For them, it's not in their mind. They
It's
forgot
not.
about it. Also,
Okay,
the
okay.
other problem with them is chronic lateness. Chronic lateness, they will struggle with that for life. You have a meeting with them, you know, unless somebody is very, very, you know, but mostly that's a problem they'll struggle with for a long time. Chronic lateness. And then also they are not planned. They are very sporadic people.
Yeah.
Very
This plan
sporadic.
works today.
Random.
Tomorrow we need another plan.
Random, you know, they're adventurous also.
Yes.
So random people, you know, so it's not really someone you can rely on unless it's, you know, so they'll come through this time, the other time you're finding it, other time they are there, other time. So that's also like a challenge, you know.
Okay.
And then also the thing is that also not having the discipline to follow through things, you know. They
Yeah.
have the energy to start things. Utaanza hii biashara, you know, you're also impatience. Utaanza hii biashara ifanye, you have no patience. You jump into the another one. So for an investment, if you see an investment somewhere, they just need to know it worked for who. One testimonial. Shh. They've jumped in. They don't want to go through the details, the logics. This is the business. This is how it works. It worked for who? Don't give me the details, you know, but then you
I
can.
got this.
You
I got this.
Yes. So
Okay,
you can end
so
up
that's
getting
the
into so
sanguine.
many. Yeah, you can end up getting into, you know, you lose a lot of your resources or monies like that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Then we come to the cholerics. So
Yes.
the cholerics, these are people who are workaholics. They know how to plan their work. They are natural leaders. They'll jump in any time. By the way, they don't run away from a crisis. If there's a crisis, they'll jump in. They know what's supposed to be done. Everything. You know. They know how to work around with people. You know. So that's their good side. They're workaholics. They'll get the work done. You want anything done?
They're the people to go to.
They'll get the work done.
Yes. And they're not as, you know, will you say they're as slow or maybe as patient as the phlegmatics, or now these ones, they will do whatever it takes to just get the work done?
Yeah, so now getting to the other side, they are very intolerant, very impatient. They will step on everyone's toe to get what they want. Everybody, you know, and they're very domineering in a meeting. It's like you find that people, they're the only ones who are talking. It's like no one else has any ideas to share.
Goodness.
Yeah, it's like no one else ever thinks. It's
Yeah.
them, it's their way or the highway. You know, they believe, and anyone who's better than them has to be another choleric. Yes, someone with like the same kind of energy. You
What?
know? Yes. So
Okay.
anybody else bringing an idea that, you know, they're like, you know, they want to really assert their way. Yeah, they're not the best people to like you know, empathize. You know, the people who can't even empathize.
Yes,
So they're
yes.
just,
It's not an
okay,
emotion
pole
they are very familiar with.
yeah, okay, pole bada. You know, but there are those others who come, they comfort you and you even feel comforted. That's not their gift.
Okay.
It's not their gift, yeah.
Great,
So
cholerics.
Yeah, so that's the downside. So for them, they'll do anything to just get, even if it's stepping, whatever it will take, step on your toes, do everything, you know, and they won't care much what you feel. You know, they can apologize later, but the work was done.
The means,
Yeah.
the end justifies the means.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then we come to the melancholics. The melancholics, these are the creatives. They are the thinkers. Do you know people like Bill Gates, people like somebody who's anajifungia in a dormitory room for 5 days or for 6 months, come up with a system. People like Albert Einstein, people like Isaac Newton,
the geniuses of this world.
Thinkers. They were thinkers. They are people who, they love their quiet. Their best work, they're very creative. Their best work is when they're quiet. So they're very creative, they're very thoughtful, they're time, they're schedule oriented. So they will keep time. So if you're not there Moikali by 5, I'll be gone, and they'll be gone. They're schedule oriented. So for them, if you tell them, oh, there's a trip that has been planned, everything is paid for,
random,
Mombasa,
let's go.
Moikali is like, hey, let's go.
Let's go.
Then they're like, excuse me, I've not planned. I've not,
like you don't need to plan, so just carry your clothes.
They have to see that they have planned, thought about it, carefully researched. They are the researchers.
Okay.
Okay. So they want to see, they do things like that. So also you find they'll make least mistakes because they are very careful with everything they do. They plan everything. Now the other side is that now as you plan, wait, research, do all that, opportunities go. The nature of opportunities. Yeah? They're not there for you. They're not waiting for you.
Yeah.
They'll lose on opportunities. And because they're very quiet, this is actually the personality or the temperament where you'll find most people even get into stress, depression and all that. They are most prone. They keep things inside. They are the meanest people ever.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, they're very mean, For a melancholic to help you is like, they're giving their life,
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're very mean people. They are, they keep things inside. This is someone who remind you, you did this to me 3 years ago. They keep things inside. They keep a record of wrong, So, yeah. And then also, they are not very outgoing. They're just quiet, They're not outgoing. In fact, you can tell by their colors,
Okay.
Dark colors, dark blue, dark green, what?
Gray.
So that you don't realize they are there. They don't want anyone to notice them. They don't want their attention. They don't want, So that's the other side, the other side of them. And then coming to the phlegmatics, these are the kindest people ever. They are very warm.
Yeah.
They are very sweet. They are very peaceable, These are the best friends you can ever have, So for them, they focus on relationships. Actually, there's a book I was reading about companies that have been there for like a long time, like 150 years. The company like that. 200 years, a company has been there. They say that the success of these companies usually was on. They even examine like the temperaments of the CEOs. Most of the CEOs were phlegmatics because they're able to keep relationships. Like you find this company and this company have a relationship of 150 years, 100 years. They know how to keep relationships.
Yeah.
They know how to keep friendships. They know how to keep, So they'll be there for a long time. So whatever they start with is likely to go on and be stable for a long time. But then on the other side, they are also not they don't like change. They are very adamant. They are very fearful, don't like getting into new things, So there's all that. So you find you don't also, sometimes you may also not achieve much in life.
Okay.
They don't take initiatives anywhere. Who will do this? Who will volunteer to pray? And they will not. They will not. They don't take initiative.
But then they're very loyal.
They're very loyal. When it comes to
Yes.
leadership, they're very reluctant. You work with such a person, they are very reluctant, but they are good people. They are loyal.
Sarah,
and
is
all
it
that.
a possibility for one person to have 2 temperaments?
Yes. What happens is that you have a dominant one, then there's a runner-up. So
Okay.
you can be a sanguine, and your runner-up is let's say maybe a choleric.
Okay.
You can have that. So that's why it's good to take tests. That's why, like, when I coach people, I tell them, okay, let's take a test. So you find there's a dominant one. Maybe a dominant one is called phlegmatic, but then the second one is like a sanguine.
Oh, okay.
Yes, so you can have that. Actually, you have all the 4, but in different percentages. This is the dominant one, and this is the one you must really watch.
That's the one that's very loud.
Yes, that's
that
the one
can
that
suppress the others.
It suppresses the others.
Yeah.
It comes out more, and it's important that so that you know how to relate with people. Now, when it comes to relationship, can I say that?
Please, before we get into the questions,
Yeah.
Nona Tuzna streaming. That's where we are in the month of love.
Yes.
Let's focus on that.
Naturally.
Yes.
A sanguine will attract a melancholic. Naturally. Because
Wait, a sanguine and a male.
yes.
The genius.
Yes.
Okay.
Can you imagine 2 sanguines
I
even
think
in a
that,
date?
that won't work for sure. So the male is not loud. Please note, I'm thinking about myself for a tiny bit second.
Yes.
So the male is the quiet genius.
at least they can listen to your
Yes, I
stories.
can be loud.
Yes, so at least we complement each other like that.
Yeah.
You know, because one is bubbly, the other one is quiet, so there's that kind of balance. Yeah, and then because the two of you are loud, who will speak, who will listen? You know, I'm only listening so that I can also say.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the choleric will naturally attract the phlegmatic, naturally. You know, because you know one is leader, the other one is like a follower.
Yes.
You know, so at least yes.
Okay.
So that is also, they complement each other very well. Now imagine a choleric and a choleric.
That won't work.
I'm telling you.
I think even choleric and sanguine might be a problem.
It might be a problem. It
But,
might not last the second date because one is
I want to
assertive.
lead and the other one is very loud.
Yes, too loud for anything, you know. So,
Okay.
so it becomes a challenge. So it's important, you know, so that you don't push yourself or you talk too much, you know, and then you end up shooting yourself out of opportunities. You end up saying what you are. There are people you meet, the first like 30 minutes with them, you know, about
That
them.
is true. I think I have
You know,
met.
everything.
That means I'm not probably a sanguine. I may be, because them they're sanguina.
No, you know, there are people,
That's not a word.
yes, you know, there are those who are obvious. They are obvious sanguines. They are very
Yes.
like obvious. There are
Yes.
others who are not obvious sanguines.
Okay.
There are people who are very obvious cholerics and are not obvious. So there's all those, you know, levels.
Okay. Good morning, Mikali. It's Sharon from Kimathi University. I think I have two. You know, sometimes I'm quiet, then other times I'm loud and all over. So that is exactly what you're talking about right now.
Yes. So there are the two of them. There
Yeah.
are the two of them. But you have your dominant one.
Yes.
You have your dominant one.
So you need to do a test to find out which one it is.
It's good
so that
to
you
do a
stop
test.
saying you are loud.
Yes.
There's a name for it. There's a
Yes.
name for that personality.
Yeah, that is loud.
That is loud
Yeah.
and all over the place.
Yeah.
Hi, Mikali. I'm Melanie from Huruma. Always loving the show. I think, or rather, I know I'm a sanguine. Please do tell us how you think or you know that you are a sanguine. You were
Yes.
talking about something just before we go. On a break. You were talking about how the temperaments affect the workplace as well.
Yes, and your career. But
And
this
your
is something
career.
that should even be taught in school, so that
Yeah.
you can, you know, because what happens, you go through, you just saw a good course like journalism, you did it, you know,
Yeah.
and then you get like you in a place like this, but your temperament is not really aligned to that kind of work, you know, something that is outgoing. You are more of a, you know, quiet person and all that, you know. So that's why you'll find somebody who is like, let's take for example a sanguine, and then you took accounting, you took business management, accounting, auditing. You know, let me tell you, you are a very frustrated person at work because that's not your, it's not your cup of tea. It's not your personality. It's not at all. you
Yeah.
know. So it's important that you get to know, and we even teach this in school so that even as these kids go to choose their courses, they know something, they pick something that's aligned with who they are, you know. So it affects the workplace because first of all, maybe you don't know your temperament. So maybe you are a supervisor, you are loading over everybody. You don't know that it's maybe you think that's just how things are done, and that's just what you know. You know, you
Yeah.
don't have the awareness. You don't have the awareness of how it affects other people, which other personality or temperament you annoy. You need to know all that. So it affects the workplace. You find people, you know, they either they hate the bosses so much. That's why we hate the supervisor. They hate their backbiting a lot because, you know, they don't know their personality, and possibly you also don't know. And because you don't know yours, you can't appreciate or tolerate the other person.
Okay.
So you find a lot of these, you know, small fights here and there in the office politics and all that. You find it affects a lot. So that's why it's important, even as a company, as a department, do a personality test, engage a coach or a trainer, do a personality test so that you're able to know, so that you meld better, you understand each other better, you meld better. It's very important. Now, even for those children who are in school, I'd recommend just go online. Just because right now I think that's what I can tell you. Just go online and do a personality test. This is you'll be able, you'll see several of them. You can even do several. You'll see like there's a trend, there's a pattern, and then it will be able to advise. And if you go to a good career, we also do career advice, you know, to students. We are able to tell you, okay, according to your personality, you are an outgoing person. These are the careers you will do best in. You still, if you're a sanguine, well, you still do well in your accounting, but there's another place where you are. It will be
You'd
like fish
flourish.
in water.
Yes.
It will be like fish in water.
Yeah.
You flourish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, great. Unasema is it true? Can I have 3 personalities? Where is it? Where are you? Is it possible to have 3 personalities? Like you said, I think you mentioned that we all have the 4. It's the different
Yes.
percentages that actually matter which one is dominant.
Exactly. We have the 4, but one is more dominant.
Okay.
One is more dominant.
All right.
Yeah.
Good morning. I think I'm a phlegmatic. I guess I'm the most afraid person in the world. Mi hata amatatu siwezi shuka peke yangu. People have to be alighting so that I can follow. That is Wanjiro from Nakuru.
Yes, but that's just a phlegmatic.
That's a phlegmatic
Very
for sure.
fearful people,
Yeah.
fearful of change. What will people say? These are people now, it's very possible you go through life thinking, what are other people thinking about me? You are afraid
Yeah,
to make
so you'd
changes.
rather be in a crowd,
Yes,
not
yes.
seen. You don't want to stand out.
You know, your main concern is to be accepted
Yeah,
by
okay,
everybody.
okay,
Yes,
okay,
you want to
okay.
be accepted. You don't want to be in problems with any person.
Actually, the one who starts trouble.
No.
No. These
Yeah.
are not activists.
Yeah, so there are people you find it's possible you go through life and you don't achieve much. So you
my
need to
God.
just overcome your
So
fears.
it's good to know these things so that you can work hard.
You work on them.
You
Yes.
work on them.
Yes, you work
not
on
just to understand, but to also work on.
Yes.
Mikali, you need to be quiet when you go to certain places because you know
Yes.
your personality will not let you if you let it fly.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yes.
cool. Thank you so much for coming through, Sarah, and
Thank
for
you.
teaching us. We have been your students this morning, and we
Appreciate.
appreciate that. How can people get in touch with you?
So on social media, Facebook, Sarah Munye the Life Coach. I share a lot of this stuff. On Twitter, Sarah Munye the Life Coach. On Instagram, Sarah_Munye. On YouTube, I have a YouTube channel, Sarah Munye TV. That's you.
Thank you so much for coming through. My director is definitely a sanguine today. We're taking a very short commercial break. When we come back, we're going to be talking about, those speed dating things. Is matchmaking an actual thing? Would you actually be up for it? Ama hiyo tuliacha kitambo wenye ulikuwa unatafutiwa kwa neighbor ama family member fulani. We'll be talking about that after this short commercial break. Don't go too far. This is Full Circle with Mwikali.